It's our privilege.
Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you all for letting me be with you today. Often in Kansas City and in Missouri and Kansas politics, they say the toughest place to speak is following Reverend Emanuel Cleaver. But I think Senator Razor gives him a run for his money today. And my brother, I will say, you are welcome back in church every Sunday. I think these folks would love to have you, and more would as well. So as I was going through a typical week, and you deal with any number of challenges, I had the chance to talk ever so briefly to my friend Jan Parks. And as you all know, Sister Parks, she tells us a lot about what we can do better for our young people, for the health of our community, and in bringing our community together. And so I thought there was nothing more important this week than making sure that I have the chance to come join all of you. Now, it is not infrequent that I make it to a church, but unfortunately, I have not been inside here to worship with you all ever. I've stood outside and asked for votes. Like many others, I've walked by, I've driven by, and I have seen you for years as a beacon of our community. And my simple message with all of you is to keep being that beacon for our community. Because as the senator notes, there is much that we hear each day. Some things tear us down, some things build us up. But you will never, never know the power of a message when you walk by and you tell someone, particularly someone different, that they belong and that they are welcome here. It makes a world of amazing differences for all of them. In every step of my life, the way that I've gotten to this path is that there's been somebody, and it didn't make sense for them to do so, who said, I care about you. I care about your family. For me, for a while, it was as a child. And there was a neighbor down the street who gave me old National Geographics and said, young man, maybe one day you can travel to one of these places. It was someone else who said, there's no reason you can't dream of having the greatest jobs and opportunities in the world. And as I got older, it was people who said, things can change for the better in Kansas City. Things can change for the better in our state. Now, what I have learned in adulthood, as we all have learned, is the trajectory is never quite a direct one. If I was sitting back in the year 2000, I would have thought it would just be a steady march toward progress. But as we see every year, and particularly this last few years, we have occasional steps back. But you all never give up. And I think back to something my mother is always telling me, get back up and still rise to make a difference. And that's exactly what you did this week. That's what you showed Kansas City and what you showed a region. Let me say just a few other things and I'll get out of the way for our worship today. I'm never one of those who says you have to have children to understand the world, but it has been a blessing for me in the last 14 months to help raise a young boy. And every time I see him now walking around, and for any of you who've had children, you recognize as soon as they're walking, they go to every hazard in the household. He walks straight to the socket, wants to go right down the stairs. But as I think about protecting him in a world, I don't just think about the physical barriers and structures. I think about the social ones. I want him to be able to know communities like yours, so that even when we are all not around, he has the chance to say, not only do people care about me, but I'm creating an opportunity for people to care about others. That is the Kansas City story. And as you may notice sometimes, and the senator usually tries to keep me in line, I may occasionally get in a fight or two with some of our statewide leaders. And there's a very special reason for that, because we define what this place is. Others do not speak for us for what it means to be a Kansas Citian, a Missourian, or a Kansan. All of us belong, and all of us should be able to have every opportunity here that we can have anywhere else. And so keep repainting when people show bigotry in our neighborhoods. Keep repainting when people's messages say that others don't belong. And more than anything, keep repainting when you know that there is someone out there in the world who needs to hear your love, who needs to hear from you that we care about them and that we're a welcoming place for them. I say finally, thank you. Thank you for your prayers for me over the last several years in our community. As we talked about masks and education and health care and everything under the sun. There are many that want to say, oh gosh, they're trying to take you over. They're trying to tell you what to do. Instead, we're trying to allow people to be free, free to live their very best lives in a community that they love and in the community that we keep building each and every day. So what I will not do is sing right now. I'm more the church type who likes to sing when everybody else is singing, and then I'll get real loud. But what I will do is offer my ongoing cooperation, and that of a city that's a place for Quinton and Greg and so many of you, no matter where we started, no matter where we're going, a place that cares about people. And maybe I'll take this one little lesson, and Jan, don't take this too far, because when she calls to complain, she'll say, Lucas, you said I could. But maybe more than anything, a place that lives a little bit more like Jan, who from the moment I got involved in public service, told me, a young African-American man, you have an opportunity to make an amazing difference in a community. Our backgrounds are different, our races are different, but our goal is the same, to build the best city, the best country, and the best world we can each day. God bless you all, and thank you for letting me be here, and please have a wonderful service. Thank you.